Hey guys, John V here from PhoneArena. You're watching our in-depth video comparison between the new iPad and the Motorola DROID XYBOARD 10.1. Now, part of the reason why we're comparing these two tablets is because, first of all, they're both available right now. You can buy them. And secondly, they're pretty much two top-quality tablets that are available as well. So we're just going to pit them against one another, see which one's going to win your hard-earned money. Honestly, it's arguable which tablet has a better looking design because ultimately it's going to come down to your specific taste. On one hand, if premium is your thing, you definitely want to take a look at the new iPad just because it has this luxurious feel to it with its milled aluminum back cover and glass-like display. It just translates to almost a high piece of jewelry. Whereas on the other end of the spectrum, if you're more about durability, you want to take a look at the Motorola DROID XYBOARD 10.1. You have a very sturdy back cover here with the soft touch elements, giving it some ruggedized features to it, and as you said, it's ultimately going to come down to your choice. There's no question about it. The iPad's Retina display is by far the more attractive and alluring display between the two. Not for the simple fact that it has the higher resolution at 2048 by 1536 versus the 1280 by 800 resolution of the DROID XYBOARD 10.1, but it's also able to capture our attention just because it produces the punchier looking colors. It's warmer in tone, and on top of that, wider viewing angles and higher contrast, so it makes it a lot more easy to view in outdoor conditions. Whereas in DROID XYBOARD, it's nice, but we do notice some, when we look at it very close, let's say at like 6 inches to a foot away, we do notice some pixels that are visible to our eyes, whereas on the iPad, you really can't distinguish that. When it comes to physical buttons, the iPads are raised and easily felt, whereas on the DROID XYBOARD, they're flat and they don't have great of a response. We actually like it that the DROID XYBOARD has a separate micro USB and micro HDMI out port, so you don't have to buy any additional accessories for video out functionality, whereas on the new iPad, you still have to buy an optional adapter for that. Furthermore, the DROID XYBOARD offers stereo support thanks to its two speakers. It has a left and right one, whereas on the iPad, it only has a single one. Another thing that we like about the XYBOARD is that it has an IR blaster which turns it into a universal remote of some sort, and also comes with a stylus, so it's another way of interacting with the tablet. As for cameras, the new iPad features a paltry VGA front-facing camera, while on the DROID XYBOARD it's a 1.3 megapixel one. Flipping these two tablets over, we find the rear cameras. They're both 5 megapixels in size, but the DROID XYBOARD shoots 720p videos and has a single LED flash. On the new iPad, it shoots 1080p videos, and it has backside illumination and also the f2.4 lens. We've talked about it in many comparisons before, and ultimately it's going to come down to just which platform experience is going to be the right one for you, just because they have their own pros and cons. If simplicity is more your kind of thing, you want to stick with the iPad. It's very intuitive, straightforward, and hassle-free. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to understand the platform, but it's kind of lacking in the personalization aspect, and that's where the DROID XYBOARD and its Android 3.2 Honeycomb experience comes to mind, just because it offers a deep level of personalization with its vast widget shortcuts. You can fill up its home screens with a variety of different things, but it's a little bit more complex at the same time. It's safe to say that both tablets are very fast with their movement, but when we take a closer look, it's very evident that the new iPad, is by far the faster device between the two. It's powered by an Apple A5X system-on-chip, which breaks down to a 1.5 GHz dual-core processor and a quad-core GPU, while on the DROID XYBOARD 10.1 is powered by a dual-core 1.2 GHz TI OMAP 4430 processor. And right here on the home screen, you could tell that the iPad's able to better track the movement of our finger. It's very tight, and just letting it go through the various home screens, you could tell that there's just a little bit of choppiness with the DROID XYBOARD's execution. And with other tasks, such as opening up applications, they're fairly instantaneous, but yet again show the processing power of the iPad. You can tell pinch gestures a lot more smooth looking on the new iPad. When it comes to typing up messages with their on-screen keyboards, we're very satisfied with the experience on both, just because it's quite spacious with their layouts, both in portrait and landscape, and on top of that, they exhibit some really good responsiveness, so it's able to keep up with our fingers. And also, as an alternative, they also have a voice dictation service as well. To tell the truth, it's something that never ceases to amaze us, just because with 4G LTE connectivity on these two tablets, it's able to load up complex web pages like ours in a matter of seconds, less than 15 seconds to tell you the truth. But as far as the web browsing performance, they're both very good, more than usable on both. The iPad, of course, exhibits the same fluidity in its navigational controls for pinch gestures and kinetic scrolling. You could tell it's a lot more smooth, whereas on the DROID XYBOARD, it's a little bit choppy, but more than usable still. But the added benefit for the XYBOARD is the fact fact that it has flash support, so we do get that desktop-like experience. Thanks to the eye candy that the Droid XYBOARD is able to provide us with its 3D-like carousel here as we're browsing through songs, it's easily the better-looking music player interface between the two, while the iPad sticks to a little bit more conventional approach with its grid-like styling. But as far as the audio quality with their respective speakers, the Droid XYBOARD is slightly stronger in its output, but it does sound a little bit strained at times. On the left, we have the samples taken by the iPad's 5-megapixel iSight camera. On the right, we have the Droid XYBOARD and its 5-megapixel snapshots. And honestly, between the two, they're very similar with their quality. Very likable in many aspects for both scenery shots and also macro shots. They excel very good. A lot of detailed, natural-looking colors and balanced exposure, so you don't see too much overexposure, overexposed tones. But the biggest differentiator is just in low lighting conditions. The Droid XYBOARD just seems to be underexposed, whereas on the iPad you notice it to be a little bit brighter. It's able to draw out some more of the details, and there's just a little bit bland tones with the Droid XYBOARD in low lighting conditions, but it does have the benefit of an LED flash. Of course, we were surprised that both tablets do equally well when it comes to taking photos, but for video recording it's a little bit different just because, first of all, the new iPad shoots it at 1080p versus 720p on the Droid XYBOARD. They're also very smooth looking, as you can tell when we pan very quickly, but the biggest differentiator is just details. On the Droid XYBOARD, it's just a lot more faint and soft in tone, while on the iPad it has some really great visuals. And on top of that, the new iPad also has this anti-shake feature, so it keeps the video that we're recording very steady. Fortunately, even with heavy usage, both tablets are able to deliver at least one solid day of battery life, which is more than sufficient for our needs, but we do find that the iPad just gives a little bit better battery life between the two. It's most prevalent for light users. You'll definitely see a big difference between performance. As we know, there are a lot of reasons why these two tablets are considered this top shelf in the market right now, just because they employ stellar hardware, great spec sheets, and of course wonderful platform experiences. But when first impressions always matter here, we definitely take a liking to the iPad's $630 starting price point for the 16GB 4G LTE version. It's a lot better than the $700 outright cost found with the Motorola DROID XYBOARD 10.1 for the 16GB 4G LTE option as well. So you do get more bang for the buck. And right away, as we look at both tablets, it's quite obvious that the Retina display has a lot to do with the iPad's allure. It just really stands out and does cause, for a lot of commotion, just because it is a benchmark in many ways, and really has that eye-catching looks to it that really reels in our attention. So if you'd like to learn more about both tablets, you can check out our website, guys, PhoneArena.com. This is John V. As always, thanks for watching.